Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Not again.
Yo guys, what's good? We just finished some training, kickboxing and weight training in the gym. Feeling pretty pumped right now. It was a good training, a little bit over an hour. Deposited $750 in one account last night, a little bit before London session. Challenging myself to see what I can flip this account to for this blog. You guys saw earlier in the video, we deposited money in the account. A little bit of money, not a lot. So now we're gonna have to see what we can take this account to. So started with $750, a little bit before London session started. Saw a setup in London session, gonna break that setup down in a video. But now we're waiting pretty much for the next setup. The account's at $1,200 now from $750. So nearly almost doubled the account in one trade. Not bad. Let's see what we can do with the next trade setup. We're gonna be scanning the market during London session tonight. Honestly, I am waiting for a pullback on gold. I do want to see if it can come down to like 32.50, maybe 32.60 or lower for continuations. Right now, it looks like it just wants to go up. It looks like it just continuation here. We'll have to wait and find the setup. Let's see what we can do with this account. All right, guys. So we're looking at Ondo today. Well, not just today. We've been looking at Ondo, researching it, looking into the crypto. It's only been out for a little bit over a year. Recently, you might have heard some JP Morgan news came out. JP Morgan has stepped out of its private blockchain and settled a real transaction on a public network from the help of Chainlink and Ondo. So we got traditional finance here. JP Morgan, the biggest bank in the US, $4.3 trillion asset manager. Biggest bank in the US, JP Morgan Chase, right? Most of you guys should know that. They're stepping into crypto tokenization, you know, bringing the traditional finance to the blockchain. So we just scooped up some Ondo, 20,000 more Ondo. So that's under a dollar. Looks promising. Anything that's kind of to JP Morgan, I'm like, okay, JP Morgan news. It's also with Chainlink, a coin that's been around for a lot longer. So Ondo has some time to test. Alt season might be interesting for a coin like this. We'll see where it goes this year. I mean, it's May right now, so that's a $20,000 scoop right there. 20,700 coins. Picking that up and holding that this year. That's one of the altcoins. Let's see how it goes. I'm about to do a write-up here in Discord for the inner circle on it, because we've been talking about it. I do some write-ups for the cryptos that I'm holding. For example, one of the last ones I talked about was Sui. When Sui came down to $2, I was saying we're buying Sui at $2. That went up to $4. This is where I put all my crypto plays, is inside my inner circle Discord. Anything I'm buying, anything I'm holding for the year, it goes in here. Anything that I think is good, promising, that I have my money where my mouth is. All right, we're here trading gold a little bit before London session. Caught a scatter of entries on the retest of 3,300. I actually went over this on the live stream that I did tonight, and I posted it in the Discord, what I talked about in the stream. I talked about how gold is testing the key psychological level of 3,300. Right now, price looks like it's trying to break and hold above this zone. If bullish momentum holds, we could possibly see continuations after a retest of the 3,300 area before we confirm that next leg up. So I broke down a lot of stuff in my Discord tonight. You can see the trade here. This thing posted as well. That's what I'm holding right here at the moment on gold. This was the second trade that I took from the 750. Now I could close this, maybe put it break even or hold it. I'm gonna see what it gets to in the next hour or so, or maybe decide to do a break even for London session. We'll see. We'll keep you guys posted. But this is trade number 2 from the 750. If I held trade number 1, this account would be at like $3,000 already. So it would have been a crazy flip by now. It's a pretty decent flip if I close this trade over 100% just on 2 setups. But I'm gonna let it ride for a bit. Maybe go break even. We're pushing up a little bit more into profit now as we talk. Was just up 500 bucks. Let's see if we can get to 1,000. Maybe like $1,200 a day would be nice, you know. $1,200, maybe we double. We'll see. Gold I'm gonna do a video breakdown of this. I did talk about the thinking of this 2 hours ago on live stream. 2 hours ago on live stream, I was talking about if we can break above the psychological level, 3,300, the whole number. If you tune into my YouTubes, if you're in the inner circle, you already know why we like whole numbers. And here's another example of psychological level playing out. I'm gonna make a video breakdown for you guys on it so you guys can see the chart and understand more. We'll see where this trade gets to. Yeah, so this is from the 750. It's pushing up even more right now. We might be making that next leg up. It looks like it wants to go to 33.25 the next quarter. It looks like it wants to just keep pushing that next leg up. Yeah, gold's super bullish at the moment. Nice setup, look at that. Boom. Almost gonna be at 2,000 balance, so 750 to 2,000. Not too bad for what, 24 hours later on an account. I should have put 7,500. Well, yeah, guys, for those watching this, make sure you plug in the YouTubes. Like, this was talked about 2 hours ago. I mean, I like to forward think, right? I was talking about this 2 hours ago, executed it a couple hours later. So make sure you guys are plugged in, because I go over a lot of the things I'm thinking about beforehand on my YouTube streams live throughout the week. That's 3,300 right here, psychological level. When it first came to that, rejection, but then it broke up and it kept breaking up. So literally it was starting to scale into this pullback. And then when I saw it to react, I entered more. There was a bit of rejection there as well, but the 4 hour never closed like bearish below it. It was just, if we go over here to forex.com, there was a wick rejection, but no close. So that was important. It was like, maybe this 4 hour could continue. Ooh, let's go. Nice. We hit the $1,000. I think that was like our goal. I said like $1,000 or 1,200, right? Goal is about to get hit for this trade, right? 1,200 was the goal. So I'm going to start closing out just in case it pulls back. I'm going to leave a couple runners because I did say 1,200 was the goal, but it's right around there. It just hit like 1180 if you saw. So goal is to get to like 1,200 for this trade setup on trade number 2, and that was achieved. As this is going up, this is going up even more. I'm gonna leave some of these entries just as runners for break even, because I don't think it's gonna maybe come back here. Still up 830, so I'm gonna leave a couple of entries but close some out here just in case there's a fat pullback. I can always reconsider entering. So I'm gonna close some of these out again just to scale the account up more as we go. Now let's close some of these guys out in the middle. And I'll leave that bottom one there. Yeah, that's how ECABS does it, folks. We call that flip and dip. Flip and dip. Like, I was gonna put more in the account, but I was fucking tired last night, lazy. There we go, we got it to 2,000. 750 is now at 2,000. We got a couple runners floating. Can leave those at break even. If anything, monitor them, and if the market comes back to those entries, I'll close them. Probably won't re-enter. I'll wait for setup number 3. It doesn't have to happen today. It doesn't even have to happen tomorrow. It can happen next week, because I've already more than doubled the account, right? 750 is what I started with it. Now it's at 2,000. If I close, it's over 2,000. So trading like this, flipping accounts, it's about waiting for good setups. This was a good setup because I was using that $3,300 level. And if you look at gold, it's been super bullish the last couple of days. Not a bad trade. Not a bad trade at all. Deposited 750, profit 14.15. Account balance is now at $2,127. Got one runner open. Gonna leave that break even. If this retraces a lot, I could maybe consider a re-entry, because it did just make a new high, and it looks like it's gonna go on to make potentially a higher high here. So if this pulls back enough, I could consider a re-entry on this. So I'm gonna look at that potentially for a re-entry. I'm not gonna go as heavy because profit's made up. So it's either break even or maybe a re-entry comes. So 2:30 in the morning, about pre-London session, 30 minutes before London session starts, and I want to cover a quick trade that I caught, and I did go over this setup about 4 hours ago on YouTube stream. I put the link out there and everything. It was the 9:30 session. Started closer to 10 p.m. tonight, but I covered this in the session. Throughout the session, I talked about this idea multiple times, and this is more when we talk about forward thinking in the market, where you can be at a point where you understand the market could go down to come up, or it could continue with the momentum of the trend, right? And that's where this idea comes into play. And I'm going to play this a little bit because you hear what I say in the video. End of the week, if it gets above 3,300, because there is a bit of resistance there now at 3,300, it has started forming some resistance. So something to, if it breaks, retest off of as well. So the only other thing, the only other thing other than retracement, I got keep mark some levels in a situation like this. Mark some levels that you'd want to see the market to retrace to. You think some setups. That's what I did. That's what it's a pretty big. So you can see I'm saying in a situation like this. I mean, what I mean by that is where the market kind of is right now. What can we look at, right? We're bullish on price. It's going up. So we can look at different bullish ideas. We could understand the market could drop. But alternatively, what did we want? What we were mainly talking about was bullish ideas, right? Like we have one here. And when we're talking about this setup, again, this is forward thinking. And you hear me say it a bit there. You hear me say there's a bit of resistance forming here. And continue with its momentum and just keep trending up and not stop and maybe go up till the end of the week. If it gets above 3,300, because there is a bit of resistance there now at 3,300. So you hear me say right there, there's a bit of resistance there now at 3,300. That's good to see when you're at one of these levels and maybe the market's just going with momentum. There's structure forming there. So when I say that, that's what I'm referencing to, is the fact that I see resistance there now. So if price breaks above there, it could be a level that's retesting or something that holds its momentum. It's holding itself up with demand. If there's demand in the market, it doesn't really matter where the market is. If there's enough demand, price can get taken through these levels. When it gets taken through and there's enough momentum, this is called more momentum trading. We could be looking for break and retest of these levels. This is 3,300. So 3,300, very psychological price, right? The zeros, right? When we're talking about our $5, our $10, our $25 levels, this is a very psychological level, right? 3,300 flat. So for me, that was a key level. I was looking at the chart, and again, this stream was, again, 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago. Same usual time that I go on at night. I even dropped it in Discord after I got off. Notice what I said in Discord here. Shortly after I got off, I said, gold is testing a key psychological level of 3,300. Right now, it looks like price is trying to break and hold above this zone. If bullish momentum holds, because this is like momentum trading, going with the flow, going more with the momentum, we could see continuation, possibly after a retest of the 3,300 area to confirm support before the next leg up. Let's see if buyers stay in control. So it's like that mindset. Let's see if the buyers hold. Let's see if they stay in control above this 3,300 level, or if 3,300 maintains, right? And that's ultimately one of the things we talked about on the session. I posted this before it came back and retested 3,300. Posted this 2 hours back, like as the market broke above here. And again, we talked about on stream. This is why it's good to kind of like forward think. Forward thinking gives you some preparation of setups, like anticipation, we like to say, right? So it was really simple. Like it was just understanding where the market is. It's at this point where I understand, okay, a retracement could happen down. And if that happens, I could still be looking for buys, because the market was in a place where, yeah, a retracement maybe could have started forming, but it didn't. Notice how there was a wick rejection at 3,300, but we didn't get any confirmation candle. We didn't get any rejection candle bearish. We had a wick rejection, sellers were starting to come in, but they didn't hold. They didn't hold. This candle did not close below. So it was to be more bearish and anticipate the retracement more, it would have been like this candle closing bearish underneath. We can see it's held up. So now it's in a spot where it's even more likely to stay above this $3,300 level. There wasn't a whole lot that went into this setup, to be honest. It was a lot of the simple stuff I just teach you guys, like just really focusing on that whole number. That's 3,300. We don't always test those types of levels that have the zeros. You can see the nice pullback to it here though on the 30-minute. So when we're looking at structure, you can start to see the markets flowing up, and we get this break above 3,300. Pretty much like almost hits 3310. And then we pull back for a good amount of time and boom, take off. So there you can see like structure behavior getting like above 3,300. It tried more than once and then here it gets above. So you see there's a nice pullback, slowly just coming back, and then we take off 3,300. The market could stay above now. Like we're probably going to stay above 3310, 3,300 now. Maybe trend towards 3,325 or even higher at the way gold's moving. But we could ultimately look for pullbacks even at this point to see if the market keeps up with continuations. I actually caught a trade. I'll show you guys here. So I'm going to pull up some screenshots that I'm going to take right now of the trade setup. The $700.50 account now. I got $1,600 profit on it. Kind of scattered here. Might look crazy, but this is how I like to do things. Like I trusted the market was going to respect 3,300. Started entering some positions a little bit earlier, and then even as it started rejecting, I started scattering some buys in here when I started to see this thing move fast. I saw this going up, and when it started going up fast, I was like, oh, this thing might really start going. So I added a few more positions. But you can see I have one red line marked on this at 3,300. Literally trusting price at the right time of the day. Here's the trade. The $750 account now is more than this. So this is the account that I made another video on. I deposited 750 bucks. It's actually more now. It's $1,606 profit. The balance is at like $2,400, close to that at the moment. Because I have one more trade floating. I kept a runner and I'm going to keep that one running. The market has pulled back, but here's just a couple examples of the trade that I caught. You can see a small entry right here. There's 3,300 marked. Rejection came in. Boom. Nice move up. Take profit. This will be a good point to take profit on when you get a nice extension like this and you clear a high. You see this high here? This high gets taken out. So this is like a really good point, a good trade to take profit on if you're scalping, day trading, and you just want to be done for the day. Break even, worst case scenario. In a trade like this, that the market has moved very fast from my entry, a good amount. Break even, worst case scenario. Can leave. So you see I had a lot of entries here. Left one runner. Can leave that break even, worst case scenario. If the market pulls back, I can decide to look for continuation setups on that first pullback. Like it just took out a high, right? So on that first pullback, it could start continuations. If we actually look at the market, it's kind of trying to do that literally after it made that push up here. So we made this nice push up, which is this push up. Take out the high. Good point to take profit. Market's likely to pull back at that point. That's where you can try to scale in for re-entries once the market sort of picks a direction, especially around these times of the day. These pullbacks probably are going to stick, right, along the way. It could hit some whole numbers like 33.20, 33.25, but you'll probably see it try to pull back to numbers like 33.15, 33.10, maybe even 33.05. And some of these pullbacks may stick along the way if this thing wants to keep trending in the upward direction. So the simplicity behind it is the key, right? Showing up is the key too. Like if I didn't get on the charts at that time of the night, I wouldn't have seen the setup. I wouldn't have known if it was there. So it was just, showing up at the right time on the chart, doing some analysis, plotting some levels, and a bit of forward thinking, right? And we can really see how whole numbers again play a good role in getting entries or just following structure as well. And even pre-planning setups, because again, this was like 4 or 5 hours ago that I planned this setup. So the simplicity behind it is what's key. It's not a whole lot of things really when you think about it, right? We could throw indicators on the chart, we could throw a stochastic on the chart and a bunch of other things. We could put a stochastic and show, it's oversold here, rejection candles, but there's a lot of simplicity here just behind the setup. You can see if you go to the session exactly what I was talking about earlier tonight. This could keep trending up at this point. These pullbacks will probably stick. So if you get pullbacks like this along the way up, it'll probably keep sticking and work its way up and continue the trend for the day. But that's a quick gold breakdown on trade number 2. That's the second trade I took on this account. I'll take another screenshot right now. This was trade number 2 that I've taken this week on this account to try to flip this account this week. I was going to deposit more money in the account. Now I'll show you here. This is where the account is at with 2 setups. So based on 2 setups, this is breakdown on setup number 2, but we have another video on the first trade setup that I caught to make some money. If I was still holding that trade setup, this profit would probably be about 3,600, at least over $3,000 profit if I was still holding that first trade setup. I think more than that. Could have made a lot if I was holding the first trade setup. Based on the account and the flip, you can see 750, profit 1,600. I'm going to look for probably one more trade setup on this account. It doesn't have to happen quick. Doesn't have to happen right now. Doesn't have to happen today or tomorrow. It could come next week. I could stay patient, sit on my hands. I have some room here to do that, to look for that type of setup that was like the one I just took or the one I took yesterday, to scale this account up to take this setup, because I made more on the second setup than the first setup. The first setup I made like $480, whereas this setup I made like $1,200 on. So here's the difference in profit. Now I have some room. I have $1,600 profit here from the 750. The account balance is up. I can chill because I've taken 2 trades to get it here, right? I don't need to look at where's the next trade, right? Because if I was trading conservatively, trading at 1 to 2%, it would take me a much longer time to do this. So I can sit on my hands for a week if I wanted to and try to do the same thing with another trade setup and make another $1,000 on the next trade. And then the account would be up pretty good. And that's how you can scale things quickly. I mean, efficiency, knowledge, experience comes into play. This is a simple setup, I think. Not a lot went into it, and I've taken trades like this a lot. Not a lot went into it. I broke it down on the YouTube, so if you guys want a lot longer version of this as well, go sort of skim through that YouTube and watch it, because we were on for an hour and 19 minutes. This breakdown is going to be like 15 minutes longer, so not too long, maybe 10-15 minutes. So that's really it. It was a really simple trade, guys. We'll talk more about it on the streams, but that's going to be trade breakdown number 2 for this account on this week, where we deposited 750 and so far 2 trades. We'll see where we can take this account before I withdraw it, depending on how the week goes, or if I just decide to sit on my hands and maybe leave the next trade for next week. All right, guys, what's good? It's day number 3, and we took some more profit today on the account. Found another trade setup to execute on. Was up late at night in the London session, and then even caught a little setup, a small one, just shortly now And the account now, 750, is now $2,200 profit. You can see the balance. All right, so there's some trades running. These are just up like 60 bucks. I'm probably gonna close these and just stay patient because I saw a really good setup late at night in London session, and quickly just this morning at 33:05, I was actually talking about this live on my YouTube stream. So yeah, so far we've flipped the account, $2,200 profit on 750. Trying to be realistic to you guys, show you guys that you don't need a big account to make money if you have some good setups in front of you and the right knowledge and experience on the charts. But that's it for now, guys. I'll see you on the rest of this video. Watch this trade breakdown real quick. I'm gonna show you the before and after of these trades and what we were looking at in the market to analyze and find these setups. Make sure you guys take notes of these trade setups because this type of content and information is only available inside my inner circle community. All right, guys, recording another breakdown video for you here. It's based on the same account, the $750 account that I should have put more money in, to be honest. Right now, you can see the profit is $2,204 for this account. So I'll have more than doubled it. Good result for the time spent. It's May 21st now. Started the account literally on May 20th, like market open, like the night of market open. So yeah, like at the time in the week, Wednesday, and I talk about this a lot on streams. Doesn't matter the amount of money too. I'm gonna go over some psychology, mindset, thinking, moving forward type of thinking, where I'm at the stage of this challenge, because I could always try to work it into next week too. It's up $2,200, right? From 750, more than doubled. Like I said in the last breakdown video, conservatively, to do percentage gains like this, risking 1 to 2% would take longer, right? So I'm obviously not risking 1-2%. I stated some things in the other breakdown. But yeah, the 3 breakdowns we've done so far, this is number 3. But I went over the setup. Like, you can get a lot from this morning session. So I don't always say to study every session, but I would maybe study this morning's, last night's. Just some of the things that were said. There's some good points of analysis being done throughout each session, like when we were talking about 3,300. So even last night in Discord, I dropped some charts. It was after I streamed. So one of the first things too to mention with this, because this setup kind of ties into what I said in the last breakdown video about 3,300 holding, maybe for the day, maybe going into the rest of the week. We can see now because it's still above 3,300 technically, right? Technically 3,300 has been holding. It's kind of like the thinking of some of these price levels. Let's see if they hold, if the market gets above it, especially in a time where you like see the market really just shooting with momentum. It's like, okay, we've gone up a lot. Doesn't mean maybe sellers are coming in. The market could still be holding its momentum. So that's where some of these key levels come into play, like 3,300. So I wrote here, let's see if buyers stay in control above 3,300, looking for pullbacks, looking for setups. I talked about some things last night on the session that I went live, and this morning I went live late because internet wasn't working for quite a bit. Kind of annoyed me. Probably would have seen some things earlier, caught a setup earlier, but even for the time I jumped on this morning, there was a setup there. So look at the market here. This is when I started looking at things where the market's at, and you see I draw this box here, and I didn't say anything when I drew that box. It was just kind of me. When I drew this box here, I didn't say anything, but it was just me analyzing. I was kind of quiet at this point. There was a point in the session where I was a little quiet, just I think analyzing things. And I draw this box. I don't think said anything about the box, but I'm drawing this box, and I'm like, okay. Look at price structure here. I can see 3,300 still holding. The setup last night to get that result. So when we look at the first setup, that I had in the previous breakdown video. It was this. Break, retest. I trusted. Sometimes it's just trusting the whole numbers too. I trusted that, on the way down, that price would react here. It reacted fast. It went strong and it went fast, right? Nice reaction. Push up. Then coming into New York today, I got on a little later than I was supposed to and I wanted to. The internet was down for quite a bit. Coming in though, price drops underneath 3,300 but trades back above it. And then you have that sort of low retest setup that we tend to see from time to time. And then price breaks up, makes a high. So I see this, like I'm on the chart and I see this and I'm describing some of this stuff live, right? I was live this morning describing this. So I'm ultimately what I'm thinking when price is here is this could pull back. I see structure. I see market structure shift up. I'm seeing low, high, low, punch up, and even this engulfing candle. See? That engulfing candle, it takes out all these candles. And then there's a pullback in the engulfing, pushes up. So ultimately, if you go on that session, you'll repetitively hear me say 3305. If we go at 3305, 3305, we could pull back to it. I keep that zone for a bit. And then I start saying, okay, price looks like it's in this pullback stage. This is where a stage, like if price has moved a certain way, I'm viewing it like this is a pullback that's going to turn into a move. It's a retracement. Go on the session and listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying this is a 5-minute pullback starting. It could turn into a 15-minute pullback. I'm on the session saying this stuff live in action, saying, I think we're going to get a pullback here and start a move down to 3305. Now, why would I say 3305? Again, goes back to what I said a couple minutes ago with that zone, that shape, right? I'm drawing that area. And I was saying I drew that area and I didn't say much about it at first when I drew it. It was there for a little bit, right? That area was there. I draw that, right? I see that with the structure. That's a good pullback area. If the market, right, if the market's at a certain point, we can be in situations where it's like, okay, I want it to pull back here. I don't need to do anything else. Sit on my hands. Let me see if it can pull back, right? That's the types of setups I often like to wait for, is ones that show me, okay, the market made a move. If there's a pullback, I know it could spring up again. So see here how I'm drawing 3305, whole number, because it also lines up with that zone, right? 3,300, it lines up with that area where I see on the 15-minute, that zone where we broke out a structure. So we have like one of those New York plays here. This is one of those New York plays, right? In some breakdown videos recently, and some videos that you guys are going to get soon, you're going to hear me say New York plays, right? We often talk about that when I go live. It's a way how I've traded for years. Like when I was living in Miami, for those of you guys that followed me since then, that's how I would always trade. If you used to see me post out screenshots every day, screenshots on my Instagram, and you've seen that and you're like, what the heck? What, like, these are some of the components that go into it. Finding those types of setups, right? Waiting for pullbacks or even understanding a directional bias. Like I'm here, I understand the market could pull back. So maybe I could look for the sell or I could wait for the buy. What goes into this setup, which was the last setup I've taken so far to get this account up, it was a cluster of entries. There's some bigger entries here, a couple entries that went like $40, $50 in profit because this thing moved 100 pips more from, it made a $10 move. My lowest entry was 3303 and I caught an entry at 3305. Made that move, I got out. You can see here, if we go replay mode, literally, I still have this last part marked because this was like the last of the session. That last part of the session I did. And you can literally see, comes right down goes a bit below it, punches up. It's not always going to be perfect. It's not always going to be like a puzzle that fits a piece perfectly, but like it's going to give you that reaction, that shape when you're able to spot setups like this. Basically, you can see the market has that resistance here. Nice little break and retest, pretty much. Whole number. That's where it comes into the trusting of these whole numbers. Like I don't have it exactly coordinated at the zeros, but like, you know, you got the point, right? So like I'm trusting price because of my abilities to, my experience to, my confidence to. I think the more you see these types of setups, and you're gonna see for the next 30 days, I'll be posting videos like this for you guys, right? And then every couple months, we're gonna do stuff like this. You guys are gonna get a lot of videos in the next 30 days, in the classroom, and then just breakdown videos like this. So again, as we break it down, we can break it down ourselves. Beautiful thing about this is we have this morning session too to kind of go back to and relay over and say like market. I'm circling a bunch of stuff here. You can see, and I'm talking about the market structure because I don't know how many people are on my YouTube streams and what level everyone's at of knowledge. So simple things like this I repetitively say when I'm on stream, like, but it's really simple to me. Like usually I'll get off the stream and just wait. And honestly, I'm at the level where I trust price, where I will enter price if it is at those whole numbers. Because honestly, I've done it enough times. So let's talk about maybe some mindset stuff. Practice, like take a demo account or take a small account, $30, $40, $50, and practice with 001s just to get reaction understanding, right? Practice with demo accounts. Have a reasoning why you're entering trades. You'll see why I preach a lot about. And this morning session, I was preaching it. I was saying, let's just wait for 3305. Let's see if the market can come down there because you can see in structure, it would make sense for that, right? Not every setup's going to hit always, but we got to take the ones that are there in front of us if they're there, right? Like, because not every setup's going to hit. So we can't be scared to take the ones that are there too. We could take a loss, you know, on a perfect setup. There could be a perfect trade that you're confident on, 100%. You're like, I like this setup. It's going to be a good trade, right? And it loses. It doesn't go, right? Then there can be a good setup in front of you that you analyze and you see something and you're unsure of. Maybe you're not sure. Maybe let's see if this plays out. And it can be a perfect trade. So you got to treat every trade the same, basically, right? Because you can't go into every trade with unsureness. You got to kind of just treat it the same in the sense. Because if you're going to a trade that is in front of you that's perfect and you're unsure of it, you're like, you're hesitating, maybe procrastinating on it, you might not take what's there. So you got to just take what's there in front of you at times. So practice on a small account, practice even on a demo account, taking setups at the whole numbers, at the $10 levels, at the $5 levels, because you could see like it's not perfect, but to me, like some of you guys that are getting more of the eyes like me too. I got a good DM from someone on school last night. I'll share with you guys. It's a pretty good message. Who said their eyes are changing from how they view the charts, right? So all I'm doing really is kind of market structure. Some of the things we go back to at the basics, right? When it comes down to the basics, it's like I'm understanding a market structure could get created here. A 5-minute pullback, or it could turn into a 15-minute pullback. But the whole numbers, this is why those whole numbers are good. Because they're below us. I think I might have looked at gold right at the end of the session. No, we dropped stream and then we streamed again. The whole numbers, they're reliable because they're below us. It's like we know what to wait for, right? Below us in a sense, we know what to wait for. So this trade, I've taken 3 trades now, and crazy enough, this is where kind of the framework started on a lot of it was last night. Was understanding, okay, the market has momentum. It looks bullish. Could probably pull above or maybe trade above this 3,300 and hold it. That's why I like to do the zones on the charts. in case it goes below, because it's not always going to be just perfect, like pin at the price. It can do stuff like this, where again, we can kind of form more of an area on the chart, right? You can see. Now look where prices pulled back, 33.15. What do we have at 33.15? We have resistance. This whole time, prices have been staying above 3,300, right? Since last night. We broke 3,300 right here. That was the London breakdown. I did a breakdown previously before this, talking about how I caught that trade, and I showed it. Again, I'm taking kind of what's there in the moment. That was there in that moment coming into London. We talked about it last night on stream. And then again, this morning setup was 3305. These are going to be really good videos for you guys for future reference. Because again, some of you guys are just a year in trading, 6 months in trading. Most of you guys, none of you guys, I think, are at 10, 11 years. Maybe you guys, some of you guys like 2, 3 years, 4 years at the higher level. I don't know everybody's, but I know most of you guys are not as experienced as most traders who get to this level of knowledge, right? So what I mean by that is, like, when I first started trading 6 months, a year in, 2, 3 years in, I didn't have this knowledge, or I wasn't planning the market like this, thinking of the market like this. So these videos are going to be good for you guys, future reference on journaling. This is journaling for you guys on setups that I take, how I've taken setups, how I'm just naturally able to spot things and act on some things like this. So kind of in this video, we have 2 mini breakdowns in a way. We have the London breakdown in a way, because I'm going to tie that into here with 3,300, because we can see gold's been trading above 3,300 since last night, going into like pre-London. And then this morning, it has a strong move down, trades at the low here, holds it. It's been staying above 3,300 since, right? And if you, now I'm going to take everything off the chart real quick and just go one more example here for this breakdown video. I want to make these breakdown videos quicker so we can just get them out. So one last thing here, 33.15, 33.10. So notice, like, ever since price has been above 3,300, we can look at the pullbacks, right? Now we just hit literally 25. There's literally 25 tapped. Where did it pull back to? 20, and now 15. So when we look at like 3,300, and then we're just missing 3,305. The market went above 3,300, and every single price. So watch. Ever since it broke above 3,300, right here, boom. What happens? 3,300 retested, makes a strong move up. The first pullback touches 33.10. Reaction. It was only a scalping reaction because you can see how it broke down here. Right, there was a nice little sell there. Break and retest. Where does it go? 33.10. So it's like there's deeper pullbacks. This one ends up going to 33.10 here. And then you can even see, like this morning, still 33.05 holding. Right now, maybe 33.15 holding from when we look at it here. This might be a good entry on the 15-minute. 15-minute rejecting, that could form a close here. The 5 minutes even maybe rejecting as well. If we're looking at this in live time as I'm recording this. 32.95. See these rejections, 32.95, 3,300, like all of these numbers are holding price, going in an uptrend. Maybe this from here, like for the last hour of the day, might do a push up from here back to like 33.20, right? We're going to analyze this.
All right, Evan, send the trade. We're buying 150,000 H bar at 20 cents, 493, right under 20 and a half cents.
Whale plays, fam.
The max of the day was 23 cents, so let's see that. Might add another 20,000 H bar, fuck it.
Ondo was a good play. Fuck, it's above $1 now.
Okay.
That's like a newer, fresher coin. But H-bar, XRP's been out since 2012. H-bar still has good time to test the market, and it's hit 40 cents twice. It's not like all those coins that hit an all-time high and just stayed flat, like fucking nothing.
All right, boys.
We know H-bar is fucking
Check out the trade. Check out the trade. Just sent them over to you. Look at the bid. New trade alert.
New trade alert, 20 cents. Anything in the 15 to 20 cents is great on H bar.
Oh, facts. Still bargain play. Still a bargain play. It breaks off that last high of 23. We'll be at 28 cents by end of the week.
Buddy, that 28 cents is exactly what I was thinking. See here? The thing about a coin like this is like you can go to market cap. If you go top 200, top 150, top 100 even, like you'll find a bunch of charts that look like this. That made an all-time high but never came back. So we want to look for charts that have actually hit, like H bars hit 45 cents, 45 cents, 40 cents, 55 cents, 56 cents. We look for charts that have hit prices more than once. Like it's come back to that price. It's had a willingness to go back. Everyone hates Ethereum, but right now, what they don't realize is Ethereum's been to $4,000 once, twice, above it, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. It's gone back there, right? So that's why we're fucking longing H bar, because it's like from here to here. Like most people look for those charts that are down that'll give them a 50x, 100x. We look for things that have literally been to price levels before, because it has a willingness to go back there. So once it goes through there, it's like lift off. You'll see a summertime watch recap video when we're wherever the fuck we're gonna be in the summer, end of June. That's where the recap video. We'll be talking about this. Those conversations we'll be having then in the summertime. We'll remember this conversation. We'll replay this. Like, I got a package today. Sheesh. How nice. Looks like flowers. I think has anyone ever? Oh wait. Oh. Oh, wait, what? I thought it was flowers. It said flowery. Oh shit, wait, what? I thought it was flowers, dog. Oh shit, they're shoes. Oh, that's fucking fire. No way. It said flowery, so I was like, did this girl give me flowery? Oh wait, that's just the ad. That's just the address. Like, oh, I thought these were flowers. No way, that's hilarious. That's cool. That was a surprise. That was surprising. Shit, fucking.